I was this close to just going to bed, and this episode wouldn't have come out for another 24 hours, but I just can't. I can't do it. It's the main chunk was recorded, and it's only 10:41 at night. That's early. So we'll get 223, episode 223 of Coast to Coast Pinball out into the world. Let's go. Thank you for listening to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast commentary. I'm a man out of quarters, yada, yada, yada. Welcome to episode 223 of this podcast. Tonight, Josh Sharp will be joining me. He tries to come on the show monthly-ish. I asked him a long time ago if he would commit to a monthly show with me where we talked mostly competitive pinball, the IFPA, the Papa Circuit, all that good stuff gets chatted about tonight. We talk a little bit about general stuff, too. We just have a chat. It's easy. It's a nice episode for me to get to just chat with someone about pinball, and love doing that with Josh. It's always a lot of fun, and I really, man, I got to tell you, I was about to go to bed. We recorded this. I stayed up later hanging out with Teresa, spring break, so she's not going to bed at her usual 8:45 or whatever. And I was going to edit it and do it tomorrow. Tuesday's a great night to do a show, and here I am Monday putting it out anyway. So gonna do it, just gonna get it done. So anyway, here's Josh Sharp. Welcoming to Coast Pinball, Mr. Josh Sharp. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm in full brownie point accumulation mode.
Brownie point accumulation for about to leave to go play pinball for days and days on end.
Yes.
Talking to some dork about pinball on the phone all night.
We're proactively taking out the garbage and doing the dishes and doing whatever else I can do to limit the collateral damage as I abandoned my family for 8 days.
Yeah, you know what I had to do to get off the hook tonight to do sort of an early call with you is I had to watch an extra episode of House of Cards.
Oh, I'm 6 episodes in for this latest season.
We're a little behind, so we're catching up.
I'm bringing that's actually on my my Papa iPad while waiting in qualifying line list. That and Making a Murderer. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sit in my qualifying line and watch.
I've seen you do that. I don't know how you can focus on something.
Dude, there's only so. I mean, what do you say? There's only so much time I can spend sitting there thinking about qualifying or something. It's I got 20 minutes probably before my name's up on this game. I can get through a third of an episode.
Oh, that's funny. What did you think of this year's Papa 19 A-Bank?
It is what it is.
You don't care. You don't care.
No, you know what? You spend so many years salivating at when the titles you want to show up that are your favorites or whatever, they show up, and then you play worse on those, and you end up with a ticket that doesn't have any of your, quote unquote games that you were planning on playing list. So it's all a crapshoot.
Oh, come on, Avengers! You got to be thrilled about Avengers.
I could play a little Avengers. The new code's fun, man.
You like the new code, huh?
It's good.
8-Ball Deluxe?
Yeah, I'm with Bowden, man. That thing's a ticket killer.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play it, they'll play it first, because if it's one of those, hey, you roll the dice, you get a 7. It's okay, all right.
Okay. So forget about you. Me, Division C Division.
It's because it's all about you.
No. It's just you don't care about you. You don't. You literally don't care. And we know you're going to qualify.
That's not true. Oh, dude, that's not true.
I know you're going to qualify. You're going to be all excited that Josh Sharp's going to win the big one, and you're going to break my heart on Sunday. I know how this works. I've seen it now a few times. It's
I've played that. I get a much closer seat to that than you do.
I understand. I get it. I need the good story. Zach gave me the good story at Pinburg. Friend of the show wins Pinburg. So anyway. Steve Bowden's my horse.
There you go.
So Division C, Iron Man, Phantom of the Opera, Mousing Around, Indianapolis 500, Roller Games, Twilight Zone, No Fear, Full Throttle, Avatar, Time Fantasy. Seems like a lot of games. What do I play?
Oh, you're gonna end up hating that Twilight Zone, right?
I'm gonna hate it. I already know I'm gonna hate the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
The game I know the best, I'll hate the most.
I don't know, man. It's you'll talk to me after you've played your first 2 tickets and you played every game once.
Mousing around, can I just shoot that stupid little ramp over and over and over?
Yeah, for no points, yes.
Oh, okay.
You want if you want, you can shoot the right ramp over and over and over again and keep spelling cheese as much as you can, and then as you That's how I play it. If you shoot the ramp over and over and over again, you can keep collecting cheese, keep collecting little awards, keep raising your jackpot value, and eventually, if you're me, you miss enough shots that you slowly spell mouse and trap accidentally through your misses.
Yeah.
And then take multi-ball as it comes and hope that you can cash out a jack, and then you're done.
I feel like mousing around is going to be a good game for me. I don't know why.
It's definitely, you could do just fine in C just cashing out right ramp all day. Even without a multi-ball, I think you could do okay.
Interesting.
Safety. There's a lot of safety there.
I'm scared of that bank. I don't know why. I'm looking at that bank, and I'm frightened.
It's dude, a Papa ticket run is a frightening experience.
But it's so much fun.
It is. Do
you still get excited? Are you excited about it?
I am. Can I swear on your podcast? I won't. I'm pumped, man. Of course. Are you kidding?
Because you're so nonchalant about it. You're like, I'm going to watch my videos while I'm waiting in line.
It's the Papa A is the closest thing to work for a professional pinball player that exists. It's just, dude, you got to put your backpack on and go to work, and you hope that your day is short, because I've been at the tail end of qualifying on my last run on the last day, and those hours add up.
Something was eye-opening to me at Pinburg last year, hanging out with you and Zach and your crew, because you have a crew, by the way.
Yes, we're more about the food than the pinball.
And they're good people. I got to meet your great friends. But I hung with you guys, and one thing I noticed, it was like when you had like 20 minutes of not playing pinball, you're out of there. You're like, get me away from these pinball machines. Most of us are like just like walking around with our eyes, like, oh, look at this. This is amazing.
Even running the nationals and the Pin Masters and the women's championship, like Zach and I will joke about, like, when people have, like, they're done with their Pin Masters round, and then it's like you walk the floor at the Pinball Hall of Fame and everyone's playing games. And it's like, what is wrong with you?
We
people?
like to play pinball.
We just played so much pinball. Like, I don't get it. It's like, I think I've been on the same roll of Papa coins for like 6 years because I just don't play for fun that much. I'll play like a warm-up game or something, but yeah, I don't know.
I think there's a level when you get so proficient at just being able to literally keep a ball alive, where if you don't have some reason to play, whether it's hit some high score or qualify.
It is tough if I don't. That's why the Super Selfie League has worked out so well. I finally have a reason to play on location that makes it like more enjoyable for me.
I got conflicting reports when I tried to claim that I named it. Did you name Super Selfie League? Or
no,
was that me?
I did not. That's all you, man.
That is me? Okay, somebody emailed me and said, no, Josh named it. I thought I named it.
No, I don't think I used the word selfie. I'm going to try to pretend that I don't know. Am I a little older than you? Can I claim that like I'm older and wouldn't know the term?
When's your birthday?
It's December 79.
Oh, no, I'm older than you. I got you by like 5 months.
Damn it.
Yeah. So Super Selfie League in Chicago, how is that going?
It's amazing.
Schaumburg, actually. Let's be real.
Yes. Dude, it is remarkable.
So earnings were way up last time we talked. Is that continued?
109%, more than double.
And the owners decided to buy more pinball machines.
They did. They decided to put a monitor up, or they're going to be putting a monitor up and a camera rig set up.
What, camera rig?
Yeah, so people they'll have like a featured game of the month, and they'll have a monitor over the game with like the playfield shot on it.
That's very cool.
It's very cool.
We have a monitor already in San Diego in our Super Selfie League. We have that. We have the Never Drains. We have the Carl D'Angelo screenshot up all the time. And I've seen people walk in and stare at it that don't know what it is and just they don't get it. They're like, what?
I actually, I got a text from our tech tonight who like signed up a new person who was like asking what the standings were or whatever. And yeah, it's been pretty amazing. So far with how it's
spreading
going.
too. It's spreading into like good like pinball places too. Like I think San Francisco and other really big cities.
Yeah, it's the best answer to the New York Super League stuff. It's the you can't beat them, join them thing. And fortunately, I mean, these are all public location places, so these operators are the biggest winners of the bunch, which is just really awesome to see.
Well, that was when I saw a few people, because there's some grumpy people in pinball. I don't know if you're aware of this or not.
There's grumpy people in pinball that don't like decisions that organizations make? No.
There are a few. There are a few grumpy people. And some of them I saw were criticizing, like, because they look at everything and, okay, what's my grumpy angle on
right.
this? All right. God just came down and declared he liked pinball. How can I somehow criticize? Oh, pinball's not cool anymore because God likes it. No, but there are some grumpy. And so the Super Selfie League, I saw some criticism on a Facebook page or something of like, this just makes it antisocial, man. You're ruining the get-together, man, which A, is not true because it all culminates in a big get-together. And B, is just silly because not everybody has to do everything the same way, and you don't only have to play in the Super Selfie League, et cetera, et cetera. But,
well, and what's funny, I'll actually argue that it's turned into a way more social event over social media during the month.
That's not real, man. That's the internet, man.
But like compared to, just even the monthly finals nights when we're all showing up there, like I'm in my group of 4 and I'm playing my games and like I chat with my group, but like I won't, there'll be like half the people that I don't say one word to that night, but like throughout the course of the month, I'll be messaging them, via comments or whatever. And that's really, it still continues to be like the magical part of the process.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It almost is weird to me that I watched it happen from when you first, like, I was in Chicago and you're like, hey, dude, come down.
Come on out, we're experimenting.
And I've watched it sort of just take off, and it's like, it's so simple, but it's perfect because it's the problem with the pinball machine is like, yeah, okay, you hold a league once a week even. Well, that's how many hours in the month or you have a bunch of people playing pinball. That's not that many hours. But Super Selfie League adds in hours on these games and money deposited all throughout the month. Oddball times.
You need the buy-in from the location to maintain those games, and we have like, now I feel like one of the best locations, in the U.S. in terms of like our tech and the owner at Level 257 are just, they're integrated to our community now, and the tech is actually playing this month for the first time.
That's awesome
because it's just like he can smell the fun. And he wants to get in on it.
I think it's fantastic because you can use it anywhere in addition to what's already existing in an area. Yes, it doesn't need to take the place of your leagues and your monthlies and stuff. So anyway,
we can self-stroke ourselves. Over
I know
it's
time terrible.
I come out, we'll just
I wouldn't act like that if I didn't really believe it and if I hadn't seen the grumpy people saying stuff about it.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. The only ones that are sort of I'll say, like, because I follow a lot of the other Facebook groups now that are doing it, and it's like some of the groups that don't actually make you take a selfie. That's just the scores. I find that there's something like the forced embarrassment of, because every pinball player takes a really crappy selfie,
of course,
unless they're like, I don't know, under the age of 20 and they're like used to doing that.
Yeah, and, like, I saw Josh Henderson and his like, look at, I'm Josh Henderson, look at me.
Part of the fun is like, oh God, this is my, like, even like thinking about my mom who's like, I don't want to take a selfie. And it's like, that's part of doing your time. You got to put your face out there and own it.
I'm attached to your Level 257 group. I noticed that there's one lady who is trying as best she can to only have the rim of her glasses and one lock of her hair in each photograph.
Oh, it's been entertaining.
It's good stuff. I did have somebody ask me about cheating because they apparently come from a town where they don't trust each other.
I know, right?
It might have been St. Louis. I'm not saying it was St. Louis, but it might have been St. Louis. But they asked me what to do, and I said, well, that's actually really easy. You just have your operator or your organizer of the league put a different colored card every month next to the DMDs of each game, so that should be in every shot. So you can't like take a bunch of photos in 1 month and carry them over.
You can do that. And, people doing bang backs or whatever. I mean, it's on the Zach was telling me last month he had some stuck ball and multi-ball and like, shook it out when he didn't really have to, because it's like, that's just, if you play the right way, it's good pinball karma.
Yeah, well, it's like golf.
In life.
It's like, did you really find your ball?
Right.
Is that
right.
Were you really playing a Titleist?
I see it in the river, so if I can see it, it means I don't take the penalty stroke.
Exactly. Self-policing.
Yeah, with finals it helps, because at some point, the push is going to come to shove anyway.
Yeah,
so
you're going to run into Lyman Sheets eventually.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of Lyman Sheets, let's talk about...
good setup.
Let's talk about the state/province national Canadian American championship. What do you guys call it officially?
It's nationals. It's the U.S. National Championship. I said I wouldn't call it. I said I would call it the North American Championship once a Canadian won it, and then Robert went ahead and won it last year. But I can't do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Fun. Go ahead.
It's the North American Pinball Championship, the IFPA North American Championship. It took place in Las Vegas. Let's see You must have been the state rep from Illinois, right?
Yeah, no, I ran into
no,
the
it wasn't
lineman.
you.
I like my father and brother before me. I ran into the lineman sledgehammer in my basement. For
Lyman's playing good
states.
pinball right now.
He is.
And it was I got to watch some of the stream. I was in a hotel somewhere watching the stream come down to the finals, and we got down to Adam Lefkoff and Lyman Sheets in the finals, and it was a very interesting ending. Why don't you tell the story since you were there?
Tell the story. Lyman had to go. So he left. He played as long as he could.
I assume you guys knew for the previous hour or so that was possible?
Yeah. I mean, I knew even before he was coming, it was like, hey, man, it's like the timing. You'll definitely be fine unless you, like, make the final 4, final 2. And if you do, then, hey, high-class problem, right? Like, you never... It's sort of a combination of, like, every tournament I play in, I expect to win, but then, like, the realistic part of you is like, well, I always schedule my flights for Papa on Sunday, afternoon. And guess what? I have to cancel those flights whenever I make Papa finals.
Yep.
And except for times where if something in life has come up that something is not cancelable, you have to do what life tells you. That happened to me at a circuit event, not this past year, but the year before. I had to leave. I think I got through one game it was a Papa-style final that was a 3-game round, and I got through maybe 2 games or 1 game, and then I had to bolt.
So, and I don't want to get into Lyman's personal life. None of our business. He had travel plans he could not cancel, and he left after 1 game, and thankfully Adam beat him on that game.
It certainly makes for a better story that Adam came back.
Yeah, on ball 3.
Than winning 0-1 instead of winning 1-0.
Yeah, that was tough. How was Adam in the moment? Was he just happy to take home the crown?
Yeah, I think like anyone else would feel, it's like you want to win it the right way, but it's sort of like, Kaylee George losing, the world championship on a tilt through on an old Chicago to Daniele, and it's like, how does it would suck to win that way, but a win's a win, and certainly, Daniele was stoked when he won, and there's the chance that he probably would have won anyway or whatever. So for Adam, there was a good chance. Adam was playing great that day.
Yes.
And Lyman was playing great too. And it just, who knows where the match would have gone, especially with those games. And
what else was in the bank? What do you think would have been chosen next? Because they played Metallica, which Lyman coded, so that was interesting.
Yeah, what would they have played? Lyman would have won on Demo Man, and I think even joking with Adam afterwards, because we were hanging out later that night, because Adam missed his flight and then had to book a hotel during March Madness in Vegas. That was fun. There went half of his winnings.
Yeah, there you go.
But even Adam conceded that he was probably not going to win Demo Man. But Adam felt pretty good about the other games in the bank. I forgot the other, like Game of Thrones was in the bank. God, I can't remember. We just were on those games forever for Pin Masters. I don't know. Do you remember?
I don't. I don't. I mean, I saw some of it, but I saw a lot of Metallica on the stream and a lot of Game of Thrones.
Fishtails, Volley.
Yeah, that's right.
Something else.
How has Game of Thrones come out to you as a tournament game, as a very high competitive game?
It's cool. I actually, for Pin Masters, it was actually awesome. We set our target score at 300 million.
Yep.
And it was just the right amount where, like, most of the simple low-hanging fruit strategies, like, couldn't get you all the way to 300.
Yeah, Stark won't get you to 300.
Right, like, Stark will get you, if you combo it, it's like, it'll get you to 2.25. And then it's like, good luck. 75 million's a lot of points to get.
Yeah.
And it was like everyone was sort of trying to figure out the right way to get there, and there were some conflicting strategies. I know Elwin played a strategy, and I played a different strategy.
What did you do?
It was just fun. I did Martel, so I could have my Add-a-Ball.
Yep.
And I went wall all day.
Backhanding the spinner?
Yeah, either backhanding or like the live catch was pretty easy off the right orbit.
And you could
and then I would just shoot the left orbit again, get my lanes, live catch, left orbit, shoot my lanes. And do that 20 times or whatever.
Yeah.
And then pull in usually Greyjoy and Martel, and then hope to start wall right away as soon as the ball feeds down. And then I think it might be streamed. My first round, I think I ended that wall multi-ball with like 291 and drained out, and then it took me like 4 balls to get to 300.
Oh
because
no,
I couldn't get anywhere.
that's funny. What did the great one Keith Allen do? What was his strategy?
He sacrificed with no ball save. It makes trying to get your Blackwater locks.
Sure. Oh yeah.
It's like sacrificial lamb time. And Zach, I know, was on the stream because Keith and I were doing commentary, and it was like Zach was cradle on the left, and it's like, all right, here it comes. He's gonna drain out the left. He's gonna sacrifice one, and he just like nailed the targets, and it went screaming out the left out lane. But pretty much Keith got into a situation, and it would usually work if you could get Blackwater started with Lannister and Martell. You could monkey flip to 300. As long as you're making shots, you get your add-a-ball. There were enough points on the table.
You're hitting so many stand-ups and then...
Yes, and lighting shots, and then hitting your shots, and your combo multipliers, and you shoot the battering ram. That, like, stuff just adds up. Unless you don't hit 300, and then after that, it's like, oh, God, I'm in jail.
Yeah. So going into Papa with that in the bank that you're going to be playing on the A Division, what's your strategy going to be going in when you're just looking for open qualifying?
It's going to be one of those things where, like, last year was the first Papa year that, Papa used to be, like, an A run used to be about, like, playing 5 good games on a ticket, and it's not anymore.
I think Steve Bowden just said this on the show.
Like, last year was the first year where it was like, I played a great game on this game, and I earned 0 points. And it's like, it's so the baseline scores to earn any points is just so difficult that you now have to blow up. You have to have like 2 excellent games, and then some pity points along the way, or you're likely to get like 3 games with points and then 2 donuts.
Yeah.
So if Game of Thrones, if the scores creep up where enough people have, like, if you go Greyjoy and play for like the big score, it's like if you need over 1 billion, or 1.5 billion in qualifying to have like good points, it's just a lot to ask. Not a pump and dump style.
Will you play Greyjoy, or will you just avoid Game of Thrones?
No, I'll probably avoid it to start, but I'm gonna probably play Martell and see, like I've always, I'm going to try it when I get to level 257, but I'm going to try to just play wall all day, depending on how the feed is, and just see, even if it takes me an hour, just shooting the orbit over and over again.
Yeah.
See if I can actually like keep going into wall and trying to get a mode in or whatever, and see if I can get any safe points, even if it's like 600 million or something. If I can get that way, if it takes me an hour to do it, but it's really safe. I might try doing that.
A lot of times,
it's mind blowing.
No, I know it's interesting because I ask you for strategy on games probably more than anybody else, and
sure.
You often give me the very distilled, like, "Hey, do this. It's safe. You should be able to get points up."
and that's actually, we're good at that because our and you met him, Brian, who's in our group that I dragged to tournaments that helps us run stuff. I remember us, like, he was in a Pinburg tiebreaker the first year for like B division for finals, and it was like a 7-way tie, and the tiebreaker game was Star Trek Next Generation, and he was like, so how do you play Next Gen? And Zach and I were just like looking at each other, and it's like, oh my God, he's nervous as crap, needing to go drop, like, it was like for 2 spots or something. So it's like he needs to kill it, and we're talking about which modes to play and this and play just video mode all day.
Too much.
And we tried to go the route of like, well, if we have him just play video mode all day, do you think we could teach him the video mode in 3 minutes? And like, we thought we could. and I don't know if it was on the stream or not, but he actually, like we said, just keep shooting the right ramp. You'll light your video mode, shoot the right orbit when it's lit, and just do that. And he started the video mode, and it started, and he went straight, and it just crashed at the first place. It could have crashed.
I mean, that's what I would do.
And Zach and I were like, oh no, he's in trouble.
That's funny.
It was good. It was good times.
Now, when you get into the actual finals, does that strategy sort of go out the window at that point of just doing the safe thing that's kind of repeatable?
No, I mean, it's situational. I think like match play, I'm far more likely to play it safe until told otherwise, by someone else's score.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm like, ball on flipper is a premium for not pump and dump style tournaments. So any match play or Papa style qualifying, it's the risk versus reward that you tend to focus way more on less risk.
Interesting.
At least I do. I won't put myself out there too often just because of what like a blown game gone wrong can do to a ticket.
Absolutely. All right. So also in Vegas, you guys crowned the first IFP Women's Championship. Tell me how that went.
It was pretty awesome. The ladies were stoked, and I felt like Zach and I usually get thanked for our efforts, after running an event or whatever, and the ladies made us feel extremely happy and excited to have made this part of our sort of global campaign. So they were stoked to do it. The matches, I know that Carl on the live stream, they were trying to get as many women's matches as possible, especially as that was finishing up before Nationals was. And there was just some great action from the ladies.
Yeah, I watched
not just because they're ladies. They were doing some work.
No, it had nothing to do. They were just good pinball players.
Yeah,
and I watched a lot of the final with Zoe, who I don't know personally. Zoe Vrabel, who was the winner, who was the champion, and Sunshine Bond, who I've met many times. Sunshine's I wouldn't go as far as to say a friend, but a very nice acquaintance who has beaten me into the ground every time I've played against her. She certainly raised the par score on Fishtails by a decent amount, because I don't think she played a Fishtails under 300 million the whole women's championship. Really accurate.
Just
when I watched her play, she's an accurate shooter. So it was a lot of fun, and it was interesting because I was talking to someone in Texas about it, and they said the same thing that I guess I was thinking and didn't know how to verbalize. They said it was just so awesome getting to see that many women under the spotlight for a moment. And we don't get that in these other big tournaments generally. Yeah,
it's really meant as a celebration, for these ladies.
Absolutely.
And I think it felt and looked like that as it was happening.
Good. I mean, and that's the whole thing. It's like, look, if there was 20% of the field of these big tournaments female, maybe you don't need the women's world champ. Maybe you don't need women's tournaments. But the fact is that's just not happening right now every weekend. And someday maybe it'll be 50-50.
Yeah, I mean it was funny. I was talking with Brian Shepard about we're always tweaking IFPA stuff and adding stuff and changing things and pissing people off and doing whatever. And was talking to him about like adding a seniors rankings, and he made a pretty good point that trying to highlight and running a seniors championship is mostly made up of people that are already into the sport and stuff. That,
sure.
Trying to expand the amount of people over 50 that are, in the competitive scene isn't something that's nearly as high of a priority as like trying to expand the women's base of people, of women being interested. And he made a good point. I was just like, yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And the other thing is the folks that are going to hit that seniors age here in the next
year.
It's
like, hey, Lyman's here.
Yeah,
let's play seniors with Lyman now.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Okay, so let's also jump. I'm jumping around a little bit here, trying to hit everything.
Jump as much as you want.
I want to jump. While you're in Vegas, you got to play Ghostbusters, I know.
The slot machine?
Not the
slot
redemption
machine game?
Not the redemption
pinball
game.
Machine?
There's a pinball machine now by a company called Stern Pinball. They're based in the Chicagoland area.
Interesting.
Elk Grove Village, to be exact.
Elk Grove Village.
Yeah.
It's up and coming neighborhood.
Elk Grove Village. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I played it like 3 games, very short games, and I'm assuming you got to play it a few times.
I did.
Played it in the lead up to the release, I know, because you're one of those insiders.
No comment.
No comment. So
never seen it. I don't even know who Stern Pinball. Don't know him.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you think of the game?
I think it is too early to tell. I love the excitement of everyone of just like, oh my God, is it awesome? And it's like, I don't know. I don't think that the Stern guys know yet. Like even like Dwight programming it, if he knows if it's good, if it's going to be good or not yet, as everything comes together.
All right. Does it shoot well?
I thought it shot well. I thought that there's just a lot of stuff that's going on that's very exciting. And depending on what Dwight can do to milk out enough ooze out of all that various stuff.
I see what you did there.
Both entertainment wise and scoring balance wise and tournament strategy wise and depth and breadth and blah blah blah. Like, he has a canvas. I think one of the things he said was, to me, that was I found kind of funny, was that his job is to not F this thing up, because it's like, it's much easier than having to save a game or whatever with code. It's like it's being delivered like the best ingredients to be able to like make a pizza or something, and it's like, dude, don't burn the pizza.
That's
Just
funny.
throw whatever ingredients you want on there. Don't F it up.
It's cool that he knows that, though, that he's like looking at it going, okay, this thing is, they know.
They know. It looks awesome.
Yeah, looks great.
Besides the insert artwork, it looks awesome.
What's wrong with the insert artwork?
I'm kidding. Whatever Oryx issues were with the.
Oh, he didn't like the font. That's right.
The font, yes.
Okay, all right. Well,
can't win them all.
They're not perfect. The games are not perfect. Interesting. I thought it was such a stark, contrasting game to Game of Thrones. Like, those two successive releases don't even feel like the same company to me, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, they definitely, obviously the designers have sort of their own footprint of, how their games sort of like tend to look and feel. But yeah, it's totally different ballgame. Totally different ballgame. I find the playfield dynamic on Ghostbusters just to be more interesting to the feel of shots.
Yeah.
To me. But I also like Game of Thrones. What Dwight did with all the multiplier strategy and the combo strategy is like insanely awesome in terms of how you can blow the game up at any given moment, as long as you keep making shots.
A very smart top-ranked player said to me in talking about Ghostbusters, he appreciated the differing distances of shots across the playfield.
I love that.
I think it was you that said that.
That might have been me.
It was you that said that. Whereas maybe Game of Thrones has that classic, fast Steve Ritchie vibe, but if you kind of step back, a lot of the shots are very similar distance from the flippers. And while that may be great for like just looping shots and getting going, Ghostbusters was sort of a breath of fresh air in that everything was very different to shoot for.
Very different, yep. And just very different feeling. As you hit stuff, and even staring at like an AC/DC, the shots are still, similar depth away from the playfield, but like there's the drop target bank in the center, the bell that feels like it's a further back shot than the ramps, and the multiple banks of the targets on the side walls that take up more like vertical space. So
Yep.
there's a much taller vertical space to shoot. And yeah, Ghostbusters to me, Game of Thrones to me was a little bit more vanilla in terms of shot.
I think Game of Thrones excels in that when you do hit all those shots, they all just feel really good.
Yeah, well, and the it's the perfect game for the rule set that Dwight developed on it, because like his whole combo shot flowing stuff, like if he was like, I have this awesome rule and I'm going to put it on the next game that, comes into my lap.
And it's Twilight Zone.
And that game was Ghostbusters or Twilight Zone. Like, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the perfect marriage.
Yep. All right.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff.
Pinball's fun.
Pinball's fun. I'm bullish on pinball. I've been saying that lately. Let's see. All right, let's talk about the Papa Circuit. So,
the Papa Circuit.
So I think that some listeners to my show, because I felt this way for a long time, there's the IFPA. Josh Sharp is the president of the IFPA. That is your organization, the International Flipper Pinball Association. You guys have a World Pinball Players Rankings. You award points to tournaments all over the world, leagues all over the world, as long as they meet some criteria that you guys set.
As long as there's selfies included, yes.
Yeah, selfies included, you award points. And you guys run a state championship series, a national, and a world championship. And what am I missing here? You also run
women's. We run like various country championship series. We run a European series. We run the Epstein Cup.
The Epstein Cup.
So we run the Pin Masters. Should my wife come down? Amanda will probably be able to tell you exactly what we run. That's why I'm not here.
So you guys run those. Then there is Papa, which runs, obviously, what a lot of people think of as Papa is the Papa World Championships, which is coming up next weekend in Carnegie, Pennsylvania.
We're in the red zone, baby.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited. It'll be fun. And that is a big, massive tournament that crowns what many people think of as the world champion of pinball each year.
I would say definitely one of them.
Yes, one of them. It's one of the majors. They also run Pinburg, which is now offsite out of the Papa facility in the Pittsburgh Convention Center, Match Play Championship. Papa also endorses major tournaments around the country/world now that they call the Papa Circuit. And these circuit events, it's kind of like the PGA Tour, roughly, kind of same idea. Endorsed events that award points based on your finish at the circuit events,
Yes.
which is tallied and kept going throughout the year so that they can then have a circuit final.
Yes.
And the top 40?
40? Yeah, I think 40 this year. It used to be 20, now it's 40.
So the top 40 players who have accumulated points at the circuit events qualify for the circuit final. And
Yes.
you are currently qualified for the circuit final, which this year the circuit final takes place right before Papa.
Yes.
Which has been this weird, like, really cool thing for some and really like, oh, I can't do that long in Pennsylvania for others. You're qualified, and you, like Steve Bowden, who is just on my show, cannot make it.
Cannot make it.
So we've got some people moving up. Brian Dye, you're in.
Brian Dye moving up.
That's good.
Shout out to Brian Dye. He's my horse.
Brian
Any
Dye's
money he gets, he owes me 10%.
He's a good guy. So we got that going. So the crux of this conversation now will base around the tournaments on the circuit, which up until this point have been chosen by the powers that be at Papa, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this year, the tournaments were Papa 18, Pin Masters, MPE. I'm blanking on what MPE
Michigan
is.
Pinball Expo.
Michigan Pinball Expo, Pin Brawl, the Cactus Jacks, that's in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
Lions Pinball Classic, Colorado. Yep. PPO is the Pittsburgh Pinball Open.
That is correct.
The Northwest.
Would you have been able to name any of these 3 years ago?
3 years ago, I would have gotten
2
Papa.
2 years ago?
Papa, I would have gotten.
Yeah.
Northwest.
Yep.
Southern Fried Game Room Expo, California Extreme, Pinburg, the Northwest Pinball Championships, Expo in Chicago, Free Play Florida, City Championships in Chicago, Indisc, never done in Southern California, MagFest in DC, and Louisville Arcade Expo. So that was the group this year. Anytime you're excluding anybody from anything, because that list is missing some fairly big tournaments. There's no Texas Pinball Festival. There's no, name another one that's not on there. Something else big. There's no, that didn't make it this year.
Rocky Mountain Pinball Showdown.
Rocky Mountain Pinball Showdown's not on there. I'm just trying to think
Pinball
of others.
at the Zoo.
Pinball at the Zoo. There's another good one. So
Midwest Gaming Classic.
Midwest Gaming, the Ohio show, or Cleveland, excuse me. So those shows were not on there. So as you can imagine, if you are Papa, who, as we were talking about before we came on the air, they were competitive pinball sort of by themselves at one point.
Yeah, for a little bit.
For a lot of people, you know, or at least they were the center of the universe, and maybe still are. They're having to pick who's going to be in this group. And you have people putting a lot of time and effort, and they want to be in the game. And so telling those people no is probably not the most fun thing in the world to do.
No. It's funny because back a few Whopper iterations ago, certainly when we started, was, we've settled on the 4 majors that we sort of, give that bonus point
which is
boost
Papa,
to.
Pinburg.
Come on, you can get there.
No, I can get there. Hold on. It's Papa, Pinburg, the European Pinball Open.
Yeah. Championship. Yeah.
And I'm missing the other one here for some reason.
Oh my gosh.
You're
missing it on purpose.
No, it's yours. It's it's IFPA.
Yes.
Okay. But
back before, before Pinburg existed, I think, we sort of went through the same thing of the thought process behind the ranking system was, if the same group of players get together at a major and not a major, the major's more important because of the prestige and whatever. And we arbitrarily picked what the majors were back then, and it would change year to year.
Okay,
and
so what tournament called you and was really upset? Let's spill the beans.
I mean, at Expo for sure. I remember going through arguments with Trent on why isn't Flip Out a major? And at some point, it was I was able to point to because I feel for the Papa guys. It sucks to just have to tell people no. And then it's well, why? And it's like, I don't know, but please don't make it be my fault. I'm sorry. Really, it's because I just didn't choose you.
You come on the show every month because you name names. That's why you're
And,
here.
so I told Trent, it was like, well, the one thing that we have available to help us make those selections is we have our formula that calculates, how much a tournament is worth. And that's, for us, it's an objective measure that would show, like, even without major status, the tournaments that would be worth the most Whopper points based on how, the number of players in the field and the strength of the field are the majors.
Yep.
So it like reinforces their even bigger importance in the world, is that they are the best events in terms of, the level of players that show up. And I was, watching Papa have to go through, this dentist chair, response to the changes with the voting process and whatever. Like I had to go, I went through and like looked up 2015, Whopper events just to see like which ones are the like, because I feel for those guys because I've been exactly where they are right now in terms of having to handle.
So basically, go ahead.
Going
into this new year, they decided that they were going to reevaluate the list and see if they had maybe missed some tournaments that deserved to be in. Maybe there were just some new ones they wanted to show off. So they took feedback. I got a feedback form. I'm sure you got one.
Yep.
To sort of rate the Papa circuit events that I had been at, and they took those ratings. And with those ratings, they took I believe 8 tournaments that they declared as these are already in for next year. These will be
correct.
These will be moving on. They took the bottom, I believe,
4? Yeah, I think that's right.
Which included Expo
and Extreme.
And did it? No, I don't think so.
No, that was in the voting. Expo for sure.
Expo was out, which was one of the big ones.
MPE was out.
I think that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to find the list. I had it in front of me. But really, the story is they pulled the bottom 4 out and said these are off the list for this year. They can reapply next year. Which Expo coming out shocked some people. And then they had a public vote. It was Free Play Florida, Expo.
Oh, that's right.
Northwest Pinball,
all the ones
Arcade
that I
Show,
go to are no longer circuit events.
and Michigan Pinball.
I'm not going to take it personally.
And so this year, and then they had a vote with 15 events, and they were going to take the top 8 of those 15 to move on and join the circuit for this year. And it was an open vote, and we've had a little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
Because, making the cut for next year, just to tell the whole story here, is Pinball to Zoo, the 24-hour final battle at the Sanctum in Connecticut, the Outer Banks Flippers Fall Tournament, which is at Flippers. That's North Carolina on the Outer Banks there. The Buffalo Pinball Summer Open, Cleveland Pinball and Arcade Show, the Bat City Open, that's in Austin, the Dutch Pinball Masters, in the Boras Pinball Open, also in Europe.
Sweden.
So that was that actually beat out the Texas Pinball Festival by 1 vote.
I should have voted, Nate. Feel bad for the Texas guys.
So 1 vote. So I think a couple things happened here.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your take.
Okay, so here's my take. I get where Papa's coming from by not wanting to be the sole gods of who is in, who is out. However, it is their circuit, and I would feel more comfortable letting the powers that be at Papa, who I greatly respect, who work incredibly hard at what they do. I would trust in them to choose myself, especially when they can get player feedback. And they did a great first step. Get the player feedback. Fantastic idea. Leaving it to an open vote on the internet in the days of multiple computers, multiple handheld devices, multiple tablets, and IP changers, probably not the best option. And I know that there was some talk of like, oh, there's ballot stuffing, and they said we have means to make sure that doesn't happen. I will tell you, I voted 10 times. I voted for 10 different events just to see if I could do it, and I did it, and I believe they were all counted.
Which ones didn't you vote for? Was one of them not Texas?
I might have even voted for Texas twice.
All right, so you're not it's like, man, dude, at least throw your votes everywhere.
I'm just kidding. No, I did vote 10 times, and I voted for 10 different just to see, because I did not want to I actually thought about that I could, what if I'm the one guy? So I did not do that. I voted for 10 separate events. And so here's the crux of my issue with it, because I think they made a mistake. I think that this was a little haphazard myself. And this is no disrespect to any of the people who made it in.
Of course not.
Because, dude, if you're running an event like this, hey, man, my hat's off to you.
Everything is said in a constructive
However, when you have a tournament that received hundreds of votes, maybe 280 votes, whatever it is, and you only had 25 people play in that tournament this last year, I kind of have to scratch my head at that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or you have a tournament that, I don't know, or you don't have any geographical consideration in your vote also. That was one of the other big problems. So I think the vote counts were a little nutty. I think it encouraged people to get their social media and their social networks to vote, which...
I saw some... did Steve Bowden's House of Cards Kevin Spacey gif, whatever it was, had me cracking up.
Yeah, it was...
Go throw someone on a train. Go do it.
I know. And,
anything it takes.
It didn't feel like the best option to me. I think I would rather see maybe a group of top players who attend lots of these things get together with the pop-up people and, have some thought into it. If they wanted to include Europe, you could absolutely, find the best out of Europe based on feedback there. Obviously the lack of a Northwest event is glaring because we have so many top players from Portland and Seattle, and now there is nothing within, I don't know what the post was, Bowen and I were talking about.
I think it grows 1,000 miles an hour, so it might be a 10,000 mile radius now.
Yeah, nothing within 10,000 miles of Seattle.
Radius.
That's a little disappointing. I don't know. I don't have the perfect solution to give right now, which I know when you criticize, you should have a better way to do it.
Yes.
But I can say that I don't think this was the best way to do it. I
can tell you what I told. I was chatting with Doug Polka a bit about, letting him know that I could easily release, Whopper version 5.3 if he wanted some of the hate thrown back my way, because I'm used to the I've been used to being the sole person that's been killing competitive pinball for years slowly. And,
that's what you do.
We go through a similar process with every change. Like, I would say the biggest, and I love getting feedback and stuff online, but like I would never consider like a change that we would make to anything IFP related to an open vote, because we have like a board of 30 to 35 country directors and other people that is like our inner circle, that it's where we take feedback and then discuss that feedback. So like one of the biggest things that we did was when we removed the minimum floor for what a tournament was worth, like it was devastating to most people, but we made a decision that like the world rankings, we needed to turn them into something that was a more accurate reflection of the world rankings rather than a promotional tool to get more people to play.
Yep.
And that was a decision that went against the grain in terms of, what most people wanted for their local events, which was like, I want my 25 points no matter what. This is crap. And it was by far the most negative thing that we changed. And we pushed it through anyway because of the dialogue that I had within the group that I trust. And in chatting with Doug, like I loved the survey stuff they did. Awesome.
Great idea.
And even the voting and application process to getting new events on, the potential to be on the circuit, I think is great. I think it's awesome to see communities rally around wanting to get their tournament sort of, upgraded or whatever. And what I told him is I would have those tournaments go through a similar survey process, because I think part of the circuit rules is like the event needs to have existed for 3 years and have, some sort of certain minimum number of players, all the stuff that like we're able to
But there are tournaments on there that haven't existed 3 years.
Is that true? Is that true?
Have we had 3 years of 24 hours at the Sanctum?
I have no idea.
I don't know that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Or like, but whatever. All right. Even if they're not, like, to be able to like survey the people that played in that event the last year or last 2 years or last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like that, there is access to that because of what we have in our IFPA database. And, the way that Papa was able to contact these people and get their surveys out there was because of us and being able to, and I have to send Doug an email address because someone else canceled for the circuit and now someone else gets in. I got to send him an email. And it's a great tool that we have to be able to help those guys get access to information. So if Bat City wants to be on the circuit and they get the votes, it'd be awesome for Papa to vet the Bat City tournament by emailing what were you were, I don't know if you were joking or serious, but what was it? Was it 25 players or something last tournament?
I was literally I was pulling
throwing
something
out there. So whatever. Let's just say they had 40 players. And maybe I don't even have all 40 email addresses, but I have, 33 of them. Send out an email to those 33 people, have them fill out the same survey that all the existing events did, and see how it lines up, see how that feedback is. And if that feedback that you get is worse than the tournaments that you've already pulled off the circuit for a bad survey, maybe the ones that you're pulling off are better than the new ones that are coming on. And I think that's what's great about, what I thought was that like first year events can't get on the circuit because they have to sort of like exist already.
Yeah.
That there's a chance there to sort of vet the process out instead of just letting it go direct to Pasco, collect your $200. Like you gotta deal with a little bit of feedback because I think then everyone would feel more like better about it if, let's just say Texas made it and then and before this year, which went awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like if the Papa guys got the feedback from Texas of previous years and it was like, oh my God, it was a cluster and there's 18 tournaments and this is terrible. Like, I don't care if 11,800 people voted for Texas.
We probably shouldn't put our name on that one.
Yeah, because the feedback that we're getting, whether it was on the circuit or not, that's good feedback. So that'd be my advice to them would be to get that feedback first as just part of the vetting process.
I will play devil's advocate. I will argue here why you could reason that this is the way to go. I think if you're looking at the scene, so you've chosen your 8 that you're saying these 8 are in based on size, feedback, whatever. These 8 are in the mix. That's our core of our circuit. We're going to add in 8 more, and we want to try and create better, bigger tournaments out there. And we think that lending our blessing, our Papa Circuit designation to newer tournaments that have a motivated group of people will help them grow their tournament. That could be your argument for, like, Bat City. Because I think Bat City has generally been like a 20-ish person event. And I know talking to Colin, who was really... You thanked me for Texas. I didn't have anything to do with Texas. I just was running my mouth about Texas. Colin was really, one of the guys that made Texas work. He's also very much involved with Bat City. He's the director of the Bat City tournament. He was telling me they have really high hopes going for that in the future. The venue is going to be really good. He told me I really should try and come to it. And so he's excited about that. And so that's good to get a tournament like that that's pretty small compared to, say, California Extreme or something like that, to get them excited enough to get those votes in. The votes had to come from somewhere.
They did.
To then maybe have a shot at the Papa thing helping. My fear is that some of these, it won't be enough, and you're going to end up with sort of like a nice tournament, no doubt a well-run, good tournament, but still you're not going to get the level of player to that tournament that really warrants the circuit. Which leads into something you said earlier today. What does the circuit want to be? What's the goal of the circuit? That's
the decision, man. And we've had to make decisions. The biggest logical argument that anyone's ever had against the ranking systems not being a farce, but not being able to take it seriously is that. And I think it was even Joe Schober was one of those people over the years that's made this comment, multiple times and it's because it's good comment because it's true, The Whopper system needs to decide, is it a ranking system or is it a promotional tool for, to get more people playing? And my answer has always been, it's both. It's both. And if we try to, push and pull on the rope and pull on the rope and push on the rope and push on the rope, and a lot of the decisions end up counterbalancing each other. I mean, it's one of those things where you're constantly making those decisions of having to decide what something is. And and your multiple goals can be at odds with each other based on certain decisions that you make. And we see that all the frickin' time, man. With SCS and the decisions we make to why do you include all of the events and why don't you limit it to X number of events? And it's like, well, we do have the explicit purpose of wanting the SCS to be more about playing more local events and less about it being a true, like, I'm ranked first in the state.
Yeah.
And because we have a world ranking system that ranks players more accurately. So, like, we have, conflicting goals even within, separate ranking system levels, whether it's state or world. It's like completely different, missions for what we do. And yeah, Papa needs to make that choice for, is it the equivalent of the Pro Tour for the elite?
And if that's the case,
yes.
Tell me what that means.
That means that, like, California Extreme and Pinball Expo probably should be left off of it. It just in terms of
you got to have them in there.
Yeah, and those two events, and that was part of just what I was looking up, was like the highest. What were the biggest point events this year, which would be like which events had the best players show up to them, and it was like, the majors, and then Flip Out was the next biggest one, and then Extreme.
Yep. That's tough. So if you want to be the Pro Tour, you got to have the events that all the pros are at.
Yeah, but like, your argument about expanding the base and getting more people interested in it, like a Pro Tour that focuses on such a niche group of people, it's a really small group. And it's like, what good are you doing if you're just catering to this good old boys club?
Well, I could argue that. I would argue that you're kind of like the big poker tournaments that really highlighted only the same few players. You're sort of creating, quote, I hate to use this word, celebrities. You're creating top players that people will go to just see play or meet or get to play against, which is pretty unique to pinball.
I love then the biggest thing, and as I joked with the Papa guys over email today, was, and you're in this club too with your podcast, is like, I told them with all the negative feedback, it's a positive because it means people care. And the fear would be if nobody was saying anything and it was just silent and nobody cared.
Absolutely.
That's the world that I live in fear of. And it's like, I love the negative feedback because it proves how passionate people are about a subject. And this reinforced what the interest is in the Papa circuit. And it's a huge interest.
It's
so
great. True. I had someone criticize me on a show recently, and I was like sort of happy
but
about it.
But I don't listen, Nate. I don't listen.
Well, I was actually pretty happy about it. I'm like, wow, this person's actually listening. Like, cool. It's funny. I was looking at the qualifiers in the circuit this year, and what you had to do to qualify in that top 40. And basically, if you won a tournament and got the 100 points for winning a tournament, you made it. I mean, by a good long bit. And so I looked at the 100-point mark, and actually there was one player, Levi, who I believe he's out of New York. He won MagFest and got 100 points. And then and this is just silly number stuff. The guy right above him, Ed Zeltman, has 100 points also, so I'm like looking for which one he won, but no, he got 50 at two different events, perfectly split it in the middle, which I thought was kind of funny. Which was MagFest and Cactus Jacks. So I don't know. I just thought that was sort of interesting.
There's many paths to
no, it was
making
PPO. It wasn't Cactus Jacks. I just can't read spreadsheet. Zach, Josh, I don't even know which sharp brother I'm talking to right now.
It's interesting though to see where they take it and what decisions they make that push whatever goals that they're looking to get for out of the circuit. It's in their hands.
I just feel a little bit weird that you're going to have these tournaments like California Extreme and like Expo. And does Expo have flaws? Yeah, Expo has flaws. That's not the most comfortable place to go to a pinball tournament. But the fact of the matter is, because it's at Expo and it's in Chicago, you had a lot of the top players there.
You did consistently for 30 years.
Yeah, and so to leave that off your circuit, it starts bringing into question, like, well, what's the circuit mean then? And you hate to see that.
Yeah, well, and the bigger thing for me is you're bringing in these new events that like you don't know if they're good or not, quality wise, because you don't have that feedback. So you're blind taste testing. It's sending back food that is probably I think it was like Dave Stewart that pointed out like whatever his tournament didn't make the cut, and his average score was like, I don't know, 4.1 out of 5 or something, which is like 4 is a very good. You know what I mean? So you're setting back a meal that is very good for potluck.
Yeah.
Right? And you hope that potluck is better than very good. And if it's not, then what?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think, from where you sit, that there should be geographical thought put into where they lay the circuit out?
If like I was designing it,
Yeah.
yes. I think like my goal would, like, as part of my process would be to like make sure that there's something sort of continuous every month, like make sure the calendar is full every month, and make sure that you're like picking off at least regions of the U.S., one per, I don't know, 6, if you divide the U.S. into 6 regions, maybe.
It's interesting that you said that about
that would
the
be
calendar.
Important to me.
There was no thought really put into when these all occur, was there?
Oh, I have no idea. Like, do we have dates for when they are? I think
we have general dates. I don't know if they're all booked or not. That's another good point, though.
But yeah, I mean, to me, but like if it was me, I'd be more focused in making it the Pro Tour. Because I think that, like, as far as like expanding, finding new players, I think, the SCS process is a really big thing that exposes new local players and sort of gets them pulled into, the sport at higher levels. The people that run into nationals each year that, somehow, some way, with everyone dealing with Vegas flights and how crappy it is to get out there, these local people, I meet new people every year, 20 new players that I hadn't met before. And seeing now the who finished third, Travis from Washington, who I had not met before. He won Washington and saved up enough money to get to Vegas for nationals, and then won the IFPA satellite spot. And now he's trying to raise enough funds to go to Pittsburgh to compete in the IFPA. And it's like, to me, like, that process works really well at getting people in like the Washington community to qualify for state, to, pull themselves through the nationals. And at some point, if Travis gets onto the tour, because, he's just so engrossed in pinball now because it's taken over his entire life, and he's not going to get married and have kids because that's the worst idea for a pinball career.
I've heard.
Like then he's in. And, I thought the first year that the Papa Circuit came out, it was awesome. It was like every event that we went to, and by we, I mean Zach, because came too late in my playing career. But, it was awesome for Zach to be like, I'm going to Seattle, I'm going to, San Jose, I'm going to Michigan. It's like there were stops along the tour, and you show up and it's like, there's Owen, and there's this person, and there's this person. And it was the chance to really get to it was like the closest feel. And I went to Louisville, and, I went to obviously Chicago and Free Play Florida, because it's very, very easy for me, but it was like the closest thing to the Pro Tour that I had experienced in the first, couple of years.
Do you think there's too many events now, having 16 events for pinball on a circuit like that? Does that water it down to you, or? It
depends on what the goal is.
Yeah.
If you want to expand, the base and get more people included in the circuit, then no, it's not too many. If you want to try to get, the top 20, U.S. ranked players to show up to a ton of the events, then it's probably too many.
Interesting.
Like one a month, like at least back in the single days when I was a happening bachelor guy.
Yeah.
I could do one event a month, no problem. That was like sort of Zach and my our go-to thing. We'd pick like an event a month, and the circuit like worked out for Zach like really natural for him to be able to be like, yep, July I'm going here, and August I'm going to Papa, and September I'm going to here, and October's Expo, and November's Free Play Florida, December's this. And it worked really well, I thought. But it's gonna be on them to choose what they want the circuit to be. Well, and whatever they choose, like, there's paths to success in both directions. You know what I mean? It's not like there's no wrong answer for them to make. It's like they have to focus on what they want and then just go at it full bore.
I have a feeling that there is going to be with this little bit of a dust up, and it is a fairly small dust up, and you and I are probably talking more about it than anybody else except for maybe those at Papa.
Right. Believe me, it is actually somehow like it's like not on Pinside at all. Or like there's one thread and it's like 8 posts.
I just saw one person go, Expo's not on the circuit anymore? Right. And somebody's like, no, that can't be right.
It's really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things.
But that's what we're here to talk about, the minutia of it.
Yeah.
But what I think is going to happen, though, because there is going to be a little bit added pressure on, say, the folks at Pinball at the Zoo, who were the top vote getter, on the Cleveland Pinball and Arcade Show, who are new, on Bat City Open, they're going to probably run really good tournaments because I think they know everybody's watching now. And that's good. That's good for everybody.
It is good. Yep.
So hopefully that works out really well. Well, hey, man, thanks for coming on and doing the show. I know you're hiding in the basement while the family's upstairs.
Oh, yes.
That's how we roll. I'm going to see you in like 10 days or something like that.
Oh, yes. I'll be in qualifying hell. Maybe I can get a last-second Classics qualifying run in, and you can take a picture of Bob Matthews not making it this year.
That may have happened last year.
Can you believe that was a year ago already?
That was a year ago when you sniped Bob Matthews off the last Classics 2. I think Classics 2 or 3.
The years go fast, man.
They're whipping around.
Crazy.
They're whipping around. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. And
I'm looking forward to finishing House of Cards and watching Making a Murder.
There you go. That's on my list. All right, man. Have yourself a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in Pittsburgh.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks again to Josh Sharp. Thank you guys for listening. 223 episodes. Who would have thunked it, right? Until next time, be nice to each other. Hold on, I'll get this right. Be nice to each other, take care of yourselves, and play more pinball. Later.